Good evening, campus. I am Alex Walsh, and this is your live action news from the desk of the Brunswickan. In news this week, we had our UNBSU VP External walk in on a food meeting. It was important news, and you will read about it on Tuesday when the paper arrives. We also have features on an HIV outbreak recently. We have a story on debt and students, and how UNB is going green. And now, off to arts. Lee Thomas.
Thanks, AWOL. In arts this week, we're going to talk about bears that are going to be at Mem Hall. Does that not make sense? You should probably read the section. Back to you, AWOL.
Such informative news on bears. Love the talk, Lee Thomas. Moving on, in sports, Josh Fleck, Bronte James.
Thanks, AWOL.
This week, we take a look back at some of the varsity Reds from the past and what they're doing now.
We also look at some that are currently here.
Back to you, Alex.
Thanks, guys. Aren't those the best newscasters you've seen this side of Regent Street? Well, I have. You know what? What's happening in opinions, Sandy Chase?
This week in opinions, we have a response to Josiah's tweet.
Now we're here talking about who we think is going to be the varsity athletes of the year.
Who cares what's in the rest of the paper?
Bronte, who's your pick for female athlete of the year?
For female, I'm going to have to go with Alex Black. She was a dominant player on the women's soccer team, and once that season was over, she jumped right into track and field where she was a dominant shot putter. So, I don't know, she's diverse. I like her.
Nick?
Sam Stewart. Athlete of the year. You know, you got to look at people who've won national championships. Sam Stewart won gold in wrestling. She's got my pick.
And I'm also going with Sam Stewart. She was named CIS Most Outstanding Wrestler for the females, so...
I'm a leader, not a follower.
2-1.
That's awkward.
You lose.
And now it's time for our thoughts on the male athlete of the year. Nick?
Tough call. I can see Julio walking away with it, but you got to look at Dan Lacosta. Like I said before, national champion. He got robbed at the CIS awards, so you know maybe some of the V-Reds coaches are maybe feeling for it that way. One of the best goaltenders in the AUS and the CIS. 2 shutouts during the playoffs. You got to give it to Dan.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go with Ben Law. He got first team AUS All-Star. He got second team All-Canadian, and he's leading goal scorer for the men's soccer team.
I give it to McMurray before Ben Law, though. You got to look. McMurray got them to the playoffs, though. 8 consecutive shutouts to get them to the national championships.
Without goals, so you're just going to have ties, no points.
Defense with championships.
And I'm going to go with Nick's first pick, Julio Fernandez, AUS MVP for men's volleyball, and he also made the All-Canadian team. So we'll let you know who does win them.
Tell us what you think at thebruns.ca.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning into live action news from the Brunswickan desk. I'm Alex Walsh, and stay clusy, Fredericton.
Who the fuck let Alex edit the teleprompter? He's been razzing some hell all week long.